Alright, I am back in the 2008 P71, the Silver Vic, and this is my favorite daily driver of all of them. It's just feels like it's kind of in between the P7B and the Charger as far as acceleration, and it's noticeably more responsive accelerating. And for me, that's kind of an important thing. I really like having a car that's more responsive and accelerates well. Now, obviously, it doesn't have the power that the Charger has, but like I said, it seems noticeably better than the 2010. I always call this one like a Wednesday car, because it just seems like everything on it was built right. But being my favorite doesn't mean that it gets the most driving. It actually gets the least driving. So right now I have a 3-car rotation. I have the Avalanche and the Cobra basically just parked. So I give the bulk of my daily driving to the P7B, just mainly because it has the most miles, and I'm trying to see how high I can get it without any kind of issues on it. I suspect it's going to go a long ways without any issues. Main reasons are, I know several of the officers that had it when it was their patrol car, and they've all assured me that it was driven very mildly, and I believe them. I mean, they're not going to lie. There's no advantage to them telling me anything, 'cause it's already my car. But they said it's basically driven back and forth across the county as you would expect a sheriff's car to be. And they're all more mature officers. They're not the fresh out of academy types that might want to wreck the car, Anyway, so it gets the bulk of the driving, probably 3 out of 4 weeks, I would say. I drive the P7B. And for those of you who don't know, P71 and P7B are the same thing. They're both police interceptors. It's just for 2010, 2011, they ran out of, I guess, P71 VIN numbers that were unique, so they had to switch it to P7B. But they are the same police interceptor. There's no, other than the VIN code changing from a 1 to a B, that's it. Other than obviously whatever model year changes there were for 2010, which they're very subtle changes at that point. Basically your 06 to 11s are all very similar. So then when I'm not driving the P7B, I will drive the Charger for a week and then go back to the P7B, and typically I'll go back to the Charger, back to the P7B, and then eventually I'll go from the P7B to this car, give it about a week's driving, and then park it again. So I was looking, I filled the tank up on this car around May of 2020, and then again in September 2020, and then in May of 2021 and September of 2021. So that gives you an idea of how little driving it's getting. That being said, it's almost at 120,000 miles on the odometer. I was actually shocked that it was that high. I mean, I don't drive that much, but so I wonder what y'all think. Do you think that Ford was building these cars better during the middle of the cycle, and then for 10 or 11 maybe got a little less careful building them because they knew it was the end of the run and they weren't gonna have to answer to it as far as sales go? Whereas these older models, every year they were coming out with a new model, so they had to basically keep selling the departments on them. Now I realize a lot of departments were going to buy Crown Vics no matter what, because one of the unique things about the Crown Vic being basically almost the same car from 98 to 2011 was a lot of the departments could reuse their equipment from car to car. So they would, you know, buy a new car and take the prisoner partition or the other equipment out and transfer it to the new one instead of having to buy all new stuff. Now obviously a lot of departments have the money and they just go ahead and buy everything new. But I do wonder if, you know, sometime around 09, if Ford started maybe cutting the quality control just a bit on these because they knew it was the end of the line and they didn't have to market them. Of course, you know, corporations don't always do the smartest things, and you know, if you're trying to convince people to buy your Taurus or your Explorer interceptors to replace the Crown Vic, you know, you would think you'd want to make sure that the Crown Vics were still solid and reliable to where they would say, oh yeah, we've never had any problems with these cars, so of course we'll trust that your newer model will be as good. I don't know. I'm just speculating out there. I mean, you know, I don't have problems with the 2010. It's not as powerful off the line, and so why is that? Basically, could just be a fluke too. But anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.